everybody? Welcome to Freedom Fire. My name is Kendall Bowman. Did you know that your taxpayer dollars were being used to mutilate the bodies of children? That's right. From the post-millennial Boston Children's Hospital given $1.4 million in taxpayer money for child sex changes. That's right. Your taxpayer dollars are being used to fund the mutilation of the bodies of children, to remove their perfectly healthy sexual organs at the ripe old age of 15, 16, 17. Now, I don't know about you guys, but at the ripe old age of 15, I didn't know a dang thing in the world. Personally, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what the next few years of my life were going to look like, except that I wanted to, just regular kid stuff. That's all I really thought about, just kid stuff. I wanted to play sports. I wanted to hang out with friends. I wanted to... that's really it. I didn't really think about the future whatsoever. I thought about the moment. And overall, mostly, this is what kids do. They think in the moment. They're not truly thinking about the future. And so your taxpayer dollars are being used to fund what they want in the moment. That's the reality. These kids want something in the moment, and your money is being used to destroy their futures. Women or young girls that have these surgeries to remove their sexual organs or on their chest, their breasts, okay? Those surgeries completely destroy the nerves in their chest, completely removing their... Obviously, it removes all ability for them to breastfeed children later down the road, if that is something that they wanted to pursue. It's completely impossible after these surgeries are done. Completely impossible. Completely impossible. It can't be done. The nerves are completely destroyed in the chest to the point where they would not even be able to feel the connection with the child as they were breastfeeding. They wouldn't even be able to feel it. And we know this because of several reports of people who have tried to detransition several young girls who thought that they were young boys and got these surgeries and decided, holy crap, I've ruined my life. And they've tried to go throughout the detransition process, and it has destroyed them because they realize the decision that the adults around them allowed them to make. And that decision has destroyed their life. Let's get into this story and really see just how terrible this truly is. The state of Massachusetts issued a $1.4 million reimbursement to Boston Children's Hospital for providing sex change procedures to minors, according to records obtained by the Daily Caller. The Children's Hospital performed 204 gender-affirming surgeries on minors between 2017 to 2020, which included 65 chest surgeries. The youngest patient was 15 years old, records show. These young women who have this surgery will, like I said, they'll never be able to breastfeed children. Ever. You realize, when you look at the statistics, that the overwhelming majority of these people who have gender dysphoria under the age of 18, okay? So children that have gender dysphoria under the age of 18, by 18, 90% of those children completely grow out of that and go back to, being their normal selves. There's something that happens around puberty age for young kids, young teenagers. There's something that happens around puberty age where these kids, they're under a lot of stress. They're growing into their new bodies. It's uncomfortable for them, and that causes some anxiety. Now, we all went through that. As long as you're an adult and you've gone through puberty already, that we've been through this. We know that. That is a fact that every adult has gone through. Unless, of course, you're taking puberty-blocking hormones that also result in the castration of yourself. Yes, those hormones chemically castrate you. Did you know that? I mean, just the lack of information that these kids are receiving as to just how much this could destroy their lives. Are you sure you want to make this decision at 15 to remove your breasts? Like I said earlier, I had no idea what I wanted for my future when I was 15 years old. I was thinking in the moment when I was 15, thinking about, I want to play video games. I want to, hang out with friends. I want to play football. I wasn't thinking about 3 years down the road when I was when I was going to become an adult. I wasn't thinking about, getting married at 20 something years old, 23. Guys, these kids are not thinking about the future. They're thinking about the present. And the adults around them are allowing these kids to make decisions about their future that will destroy their future in ways that these kids don't truly understand. And your tax dollars are funding it. Let's continue. The Executive Office of Health and Human Services of Massachusetts told the outlet that the more than $1 million reimbursement was for the hospital's gender transition services between 2015 and 2023. Excuse me, I'm fighting a sneeze here. The services provided included, there it is. Excuse me, goodness gracious. The services provided included surgical procedures, prescription drugs, therapies, physician and hospital services, and inpatient and outpatient treatments. Boston Children's Hospital came under fire in 2022 after it was revealed that it performs sex change procedures on minors. The world-renowned hospital proudly boasts that it became the first in the country to create a pediatric and adolescent transgender health program. However, due to backlash, the hospital removed its webpage, which included videos about sex change surgeries, gender dysphoria, and steps on how to talk to family and friends about wanting to transition, according to the outlet. While the hospital removed the website, it has been archived, and the hospital explains when parental or non-parental consent is needed to transition genders. The hospital requires patients as young as 15 years of age who want to have top surgery to have parental consent or a letter from a medical doctor or nurse practitioner stating that you have persistent, well-documented gender dysphoria, the website states. I want to tell you right now, it is very easy to get these letters. It's very easy. There are doctors who are standing by, ready to give a letter like this to any child that basically comes across them and says, hey, I need a letter. If a child comes across, there are certain doctors who are willing to give out these letters to any child. That's the reality. As long, and as long as they're 15 years of age, they can get these surgeries. So let's continue. The patient's ages 17 can receive vaginoplasties without parental consent, but the hospital will not perform penis construction surgeries, phalloplasty, or metoidioplasty. Goodness, that's a word. Until they reach 18 years of age. Boston Children's Hospital currently offers a transgender reproductive health program, which includes gender-affirming hysterectomies on patients when they reach the age of 18. And provides resources to trans-identified biological teenagers on how they can get the appearance of a vagina by using duct tape for safe tucking. Yes, this is what your tax dollars are going to. Not saving lives, not saving people in an emergency room, no. Teaching kids how to tuck their penis away so it looks like they have a vagina. Yeah, that's what your money is going towards. Sex change procedures have tripled over the years, with data from the JAMA Network Medical Journal showing that Americans between the ages of 12 to 40 seeking gender transition treatments between 2016 and 2019 jumped from 4,552 to 13,011. More than 3,000 of those minors are 3,000 of those are minors that sought out sex changes, according to the outlet. As a result of the increase in child mutilation at the hands of the radical gender ideology movement, Republican-controlled states have banned or are working to ban sex change procedures for minors, and that right there is the solution for you. If you're looking for a solution as to how, maybe you don't want your tax dollars to be used for the mutilation of children, which is completely understandable, you gotta leave. You have to leave the state that you are in. That's the reality. It's very unlikely that Massachusetts is ever going to change. It's very unlikely. I mean, I sure don't see it. Do we think that Massachusetts is going to change as a state anytime soon? The politics and the demographics in their government is going to change anytime soon. It's very likely that Massachusetts is going to continue to be a left-wing crap hole where they mutilate the bodies of children, and you are the ones that are forced to fund it through your taxes. Or else they throw you in jail if you withhold your taxes. So basically at gunpoint, they're telling you, you will fund the mutilation of children. That's what they're saying. Because if you withhold your taxes, they'll throw you in prison. They'll come to your house, hold you at gunpoint, put you in handcuffs, they'll throw you in the car, and then they'll take you to the prison, and they'll throw you in prison for withholding your taxes from the state. That's what they'll do. They'll throw you in prison for it. Basically stating, you're going to do this. They have the monopoly on violence, and so they'll use it to push their agenda. So, the state of Massachusetts is likely not going to change. So what do you have to do? You have to leave. If you're going to stay and fight, good on you. I think that that's a very noble thing to do. If you are anyone that actually cares about kids, though, you got to defund this system. How do you defund the state of Massachusetts? You leave. You got to leave. That's the reality. It's already happening to California. California has lost billions in tax dollars because of all of just the thousands of people that have left that state. Hundreds of thousands. And they're losing tax dollars for it. They're losing power. They're losing economic status. They're losing population, obviously. In fact, the majority of their blue-collar folks, the majority of their working class in California has essentially left because they could not afford to survive. And because of policies like this, where their tax dollars were being used for the exact same thing, being used to fund this insanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else to tell you, man. I really don't. You can keep on voting for the same thing. That's fine. But you're going to keep getting the same result. If you do not support this, then stop supporting Democrats. If you don't want to wait around and have your next, your tax dollars in the next tax cycle to be used for this, then I don't know what else to tell you other than you got to get out of there. Go to Florida. Go to, West Virginia. West Virginia is not too far from Massachusetts. It is what it is, man. You got to make it happen. You have to do what you feel is right. And if you think that, the state using your tax dollars to mutilate the bodies of children, to give them hormones that chemically castrate them and remove their ability to have kids and make them infertile, if you think that your tax dollars being used to cut off the breasts of young girls so that they'll never be able to breastfeed children, the nerves in their chest will be completely destroyed, making it so that they can't even feel anything in their chest. If you think that your tax dollars being used for that is unacceptable, then one, if you're going to stay, stop voting Democrat. Two, if you're going to leave, then get the mess out of Dodge. Move to another state. I get it. It's difficult. It's difficult. But the reality is this, is today's culture war is a war. It is. Like, I'm sorry. If there were a nation over in the Middle East that was purposely going around castrating children of another ethnic group over in this country, we would like the U.S. military would be sent in immediately to stop that. We would be calling that a freaking war crime. Oh, this dictator over in Africa or over in the Middle East is just, they're castrating their own kids. We would call that a war crime. Our military would use that as a reason to invade a nation. But because it's happening to our own kids, we allow it? You got to make the choice, man. I can't make it for you. I'm going to leave it there. I'll have another video coming for you guys on Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section, and share the show with your friends. Follow me on all the socials down in the description and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we put out new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.